In Chaitanya, I had the learning and development team, or we call it learning and innovation. Innovation trying to kind of look at how we can enhance the learner experience here in Darwinbox. I look at the training delivery as well as the learning experience for three of our cohorts, not just our internal employees or Darwinians, but also we look at the partner enablement. We work through 50 odd implementation partners across the globe. So those members' learning needs we cater to. Alongside that, we also look at the entire client base. We currently cater to around 850 global clients. Founders have this vision of making HR for HR, HR tech for HR. So people become naturally the center of all the work that we do, all the way extending to the last employee. These employees could be our client organization employees, our partners, our own Darwinians. How do you reach and enable them is a big question, right? So over the period of last 1.5 to 2 years, we built this learning organization in a way that transformed itself from doing an offline, in-person, trainer-led training at a stipulated time to now enabling a full-blown self-paced certification program. One thing that we felt missing, and this was something that was called out in our interviews, focus group discussions with our learners, is we haven't strongly positioned the what's in it for me. Why should they take up learning? And through that, we understood that their keen core motivator is one, a peer or social recognition of their accomplishments and learnings, which was second, they also wanted to upskill to ensure that they excel in the current roles. We realized that people wanted that bragging rights of social sharing. People wanted that endorsement from the industry peers. It was a missing piece we felt, and I think after having these conversations, accelerated our drive towards Accredible happened 4 months ago for us. I think this was a no-brainer for us when we looked at it. We, apart from the ubiquitous features of one-click sharing on social platforms, or ensuring that they are verifiable certificates, which are there in all of our competitors. Two things I think stuck very deep into our mindset. And one is the white labeling. We're able to enforce and establish our presence into the world through the learning and digital credential program. Second piece was we looked at some of the competitors and they were enforcing the registration or through email IDs of the learners for them to access their own credentials. We felt that was pretty restrictive in the way that it operates, and we always believe that it has to be simple for somebody to access their credentials. And second, if there are a lot of times that the movements between organizations happen, in the sense one of our partner does take up the courses, they move to a different organization, continue to offer their services. We wanted the transition between organizations to be seamless in terms of how they access their credentials. Now the digital wallet was really kind of hitting it on right on the nail, wherein we wanted that transferability. So people move from one organization to other to have a digital wallet that is agnostic to a particular user ID or email ID. One thing that really stands out, or let me add two things. One is accountability across the board. Now, right from the day one conversations to I think even the conversation that we are having right now, everything is thoroughly meticulous, planned, and professional. Second, the customer centricity. And that is something that I feel is the DNA of your organization, right? And on a bi-weekly basis, we are getting onto these calls and the insight that are being provided. We really feel that there is a lot of sync. You exactly know what our needs are. You exactly know what could be our next step, right? So we've been dealing with 5 or 6 different vendors at this point in time actively. I'll rate you guys right at the top in terms of how you are showing that accountability and customer centricity. I couldn't be any happier. From the branding perspective, as our topmost priority is the adoption. How many members are going through this program, right? One thing that we look at is the reports and analytics. What are the open rates? What are the engagement rates, right? I'm very glad to announce this, that within 4 months of operation, we're already at 75% engagement rate. And obviously, sky's the limit. So one feature that I really liked is the ability of the reports and analytics function to give us that granular, crystal clear details. So much so that I'd rather call it insight, this information. Second is the pathways. We have currently built around 12 different modules and 4 certification tracks, because each of our client would not take in all the modules of Darwinbox product. We give them bespoke module accesses, and they are specialists in their own modules. So from that standpoint, tracking through pathways is very important. And I think pathways, I found it to be a very elegant solution wherein we give a bird's eye view to the end learner about the entire learning journey. Where are they currently? What else can they do? So the continuous learning journey is enabled very beautifully over here when I looked at some of the other competitors that we were doing as part of the discovery process. So these two features, the reports analytics and the pathways, we extensively use it. We love it. Fundamentally, the learner behavior, because now they got the intrinsic motivation, because so far it has been top down. You do it, you do these certifications, it's good for you, right? Now with Accredible, the power of social sharing, and they are enjoying those mini bragging right moments. Their peers, they are establishing themselves as experts in the domain, right? So that behavioral change is something win for us, wherein fundamentally the approach towards learning is not a push effort, rather than it's now becoming an intrinsic motivator for them. Second is they're already hitting 75% engagement levels in terms of either shares or opens, and LinkedIn has been our primary medium or channel wherein the learners are finding it easy to share it. We have realized that again the shift in terms of the perception, right? Now, if you look at some of the job posts for openings on Darwinbox required positions, more often than not, we are seeing our partners and clients calling out in their job descriptions on LinkedIn saying that they would prefer certified Darwinbox practitioners. Clients and partners are sitting back and realizing that, hey, this is a Darwinbox endorsed skill set that somebody possesses right now. I can go ahead and verify it. The authenticity is there, the expertise is there, and they're trusting that trust not just on Darwinbox, but also the convenience and the layer of security that Accredible provides. So these two, I feel fundamentally are the game changers for us. Now, third, we're doing some averages in the last 16 months that issued around 4,000 certificates. Now, in the last 6 months, we've issued 1,600 certificates. The rate at which we are issuing the certificates or credentials is improved 60%. Why? We are able to kind of give them the value of certifications, give them the need and the motivation. And I'm a strong believer that learning, if it is intrinsically motivated, the job is done. With this digital credential form, we are kind of close to getting there. Yes and yes. Why two yeses? One, I think this is a natural extension for any organization looking at completely building an ecosystem, not just a one-trick pony, right? We are at the forefront of what we do because there is immense trust in building that ecosystem. And the organization believes that LNI is poised when it's built the ecosystem. I need to have a tech stack to lead the learners from end to end. And I would recommend that to any of the like-minded organizations who look at a learning as a clear enablement. Second piece, like I said, customer centricity is a very, very good marriage of the product competency with the customer centricity and accountability. So I definitely recommend Accredible.